Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Blackbird podcast. Are you all good? Are you as well? Are you as well? I was actually driving through Kinsale. Kinsale is absolutely fucking beautiful. I was there. It was very early. I'm thinking it was around say 7 a.m. a few times this week, and it's awesome. If you haven't been there in a while, folks, and definitely early in the morning. The earliest you get there, the better. It looks so good. When you come in and you take the left and then left again and go up the quay, we'll say, it looks awesome. There are all the boats. It looks really cool. So yeah, check it out. Go there. Go to Kinsale and go for a drive if you can. And check it out. It's so cool. And then when you go out beyond Kinsale and you go over the bridge, there's so many cool little kind of weird, how did they drive down there kind of places. And some crazy people going into the ocean at that hour of the morning. Man, cold. But yeah, I just said I'd say that because it was beautiful. It was very beautiful. Very beautiful. What have we going on? What have we going on? I'm going to get these few things out of the way. Neil Kibble was on to me not too long ago. On the 9th and 10th of May, this coming May, the Bluebell Shoot will be on an SB6 and a UAR. Carramore and Marble Archers unite to present to you this Bluebell Shoot, the 9th and 10th of May. Put it in your diary if that is something that you're interested in. I know people will... Ukifak, I don't know when that's in May, isn't it? In Wales this year. I don't know, am I going to be there? Or probably, I don't know, it's not likely, but with work is great. But Wexford actually have a shoot tomorrow. Wexford Archery Club, down to Don and the gang. They've set up a registered scoring shoot for people getting ready for Ukifak, because with the European Indoor Archery Championships, I think things are a little staggered now thereafter. Or is it because Ukifak is on earlier rather than... I thought that was like a July shoot. But anyway, it's on in May, I believe. But there's not going to be many shoots before you get there, if you get me, to get into it. Whereas before, every other bloody shoot would be geared towards that. I think Leash are going to try to have something as well. I'm not sure. The calendar is a thing of constantly changing, so you gotta keep eyes on it. So yeah, tomorrow you're going to have the opportunity to go to Wexford and do that shoot to get yourself primed and ready for Ukifak in Wales, which I imagine would be awesome. I don't know. I might go. I don't know. Let's see. Depends on the work. And at the moment, work is winning. Yeah, so that's that, folks. Enjoy Wexford tomorrow. Dan, I probably won't be there, buddy. I must catch up with you, and we must sort out I was on to Jose today, so there seemed to have been a miscommunication the last time I spoke with Jose. He's very tired, I'd say. He's very busy, as am I. But, so yeah, I'm going to get on to him again Monday, actually, in person, with details and shit. Get what I need, get what I want. Because I thought I'd have this part for this bow, but I don't. It's on the other side. The missing piece. The Batman bow is sidelined. And I don't know why, but I'm shooting left like crazy. At this stage of the game, you think you'd fucking shoot properly. I don't know what it is. Even when I was in Cork last week and I was doing the IMM, the last round of that, my first batch of arrows were going way left. I was like, it's just fucking annoying, because you're thinking you should have this down now, because I don't know what it is. It's like sometimes you have to ask, is archery for you? Of course it is. I love archery. No stopping us now, baby. I love archery. It's just, okay, it presents problems every goddamn time. Okay, how's it going left? So instead of aiming, like I'd put my tip of the arrow right at the X and I'd drop down to whatever the gap would be and loose the arrow. And it's over here, perfectly centered, but over here. So then just to counter that, you're thinking, okay, I'll get my arrow on the X and then I'll move over half a page, come down to my gap, loose the arrow, and I'm still way over here. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. Is it my release? Is it my stance? Because I'm like looking, I'm trying to follow the floor and, you know. Anyway, that's where I am with the old archery at the moment. I'm going to fire off a bunch tomorrow. I'd be happy to do that. It'd be great. Keep the practice going. And not with this bow though. It'll be with old Blue. Blue. I was thinking to shoot the longbow tomorrow because I thought I'd have arrows today, but not to be. But alas, everything is like sluggish. I don't do well with sluggish. It's stuttery. Just problems popping up for no reason. Do you know, imagination. So that's that. And the Irish got whooped. Well, not whooped. They got beat on penalties by the Czech. Very interesting little thing in our house. The two young fellas, like, you know, as the mother said, you're half Czech, you're half Irish. Yeah, but you live in Ireland, okay? So you vote for the fucking Irish. But they don't care, they're kids, they don't care. Did I care? I don't know. No, I didn't care. I didn't even watch it. I mean, look, if it gives people a bit of a giggle, great. Why not? There's a stonemason at work with the radio on, which drains my energy like you wouldn't believe. But they were all, I don't know what show it was, they were going on about it. You swear it was the World Cup finale that we were at. It sounded, you know what it sounded like to me? You know when the English national team go into a football competition, an international one? The minute it's mentioned, their media goes into a frenzy. And it's like, oh, of course England are going to win. Why wouldn't they? They're the best. They're playing the best league. They're the best at everything. And then they get whooped. There was a smell of that off this radio station guy, and I thought, Jesus Christ, this is desperate. Like, it's as in there's desperation to it, not like this is crap. It's like desperate. You can smell the desperate of him. I kept thinking tomorrow should be interesting. What's he going to talk about tomorrow? Yeah, so at least they got to hang out in Prague. Prague's beautiful. I love Prague. We go to Prague all the time. It's home from home. The only thing is when you go there the first time, you haven't a clue, do you? You don't know where to go. But when you're with the natives, they show you the real Prague and they show you the cool places. And there's some other cool towns outside of Prague you should go to as well. Because Prague can be, as you can imagine, it's thronged with people like you, tourists. But we're kind of there, like, for family, like. But still a tourist, no matter what way you slice it. And you're giving out about all the tourists. These fucking people. They're everywhere. But yeah, it's a beautiful town. Beautiful city. The architecture there is fucking beautiful. Going up to the castle, coming down from the castle. Your feet would be burnt off you, so make sure you got some nice footwear. Flat, rubbery footwear. None of these big heeled sponge things that mess up your hips and your back. Try to get flat footwear. And multiple breaks. There'll be lots of sugary sweets to have. Oh my God. You know. Prague is awesome. And I just hope that the Irish lads left it the way they found it. Okay. I seen a few photos there of people in trees and shit. Fucking barbarians. We are barbarians. It is what it is. We're fucking tapped. But yeah, I actually thought we'd win. I don't know. I just thought, yeah, we'll probably nip it by a goal. But I think there was something going on with, is it their captain and their fans? Some kind of. So I suspect maybe that galvanized them. It was like us against them kind of thing. Maybe that's what it was. I mean, I'm not just saying it because I'm Irish, but I'd have fancied Ireland to win in most things against the Czech. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Czech are diligent, they're focused. When they get into a thing, that's it. But they love their sweets and their beers and their food. They love their food. They're kind of nearly Italian in that sense. You know, when you go and you meet the real street vendors, the street market, food marketplaces, Jesus, they love their food. And their food is delish. I'd be fat as a fool. If I was there for more than 6 weeks, even 3 weeks, I'm like, fuck, I gotta do some running when I go home. This has been too much. It's lovely though. It's lovely. And a nice kind of hot. It can be hot in August. I mean, you'd think it's kind of getting cool in August. But it's not for me. Anyway, that's that. Ireland lost out of the World Cup. Boom, gone. 0. See ya. Bye-bye. And I'm shooting ours way to the left. Sucks. It sucks. And I would like to say a big shout out to all of, you know who you are, all of my friends and supporters, my encouragement, those who encourage me. No, that's wrong. Support. Got a lot of moral support of late, and I appreciate it. It's much appreciated. And the votes are in. It's like, I think 3-1. So he stays. It's kind of, what can you do? It's cute. It's not his fault. So he stays. And what else we got happening? I had stuff to write down, but I can't find the page. It must be in a different book. So if you've any complaints, or if any of you want to come on the podcast at any time, you can send an email now to www.blackbirdpodcast.com. I think that's what it is. Should I better double check that, shouldn't I? Might be. I'm sure that. Go to the website. There's like a thing you fill in there. It'll get you right to me. And I can read it and say, oh, someone's very upset with me again. Oh no, what did I do? Is there something I said? Where's your sense of humor? Where is it? People are funny. So yes, so tomorrow Wexford for that Yugi Faki thingy practice. Yeah, I probably won't go there. It's just, this would have been the 4th weekend in a row where I'm just constantly boom boom. So it's like day off time for me, especially after the week I've had. It was just like fucking hell. It's one of the weeks where you have to get a new timetable going, and it's like getting up at 5 a.m. is a kick in the head. I don't recommend it. You'd think you get used to it. But look, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Crackers. Verse 15. So, we'll start at question 16. Does this have this? Yes, it does. Okay, I should have brought my glasses. What did your first studio resemble? Shed, spare room. My first studio was my bedroom in my parents' home. I actually ended up being in that room after secondary school. I kind of locked myself into that room for 2 years straight, just painting on the walls, painting on bed sheets, painting, drawings, everything, learning how to play the guitar. So my bedroom would have been the first. Then after that, my buddy Jim Mellis from England, Portsmouth, England, he came over and he was renting a garage, believe it or not, because Jim was into loads of things, but he was renting out a garage in Fermoy, on this side of the bridge, we'll say, the north side of the town, and he had the studio upstairs, and it was fucking freezing, but it was brilliant. It was really brilliant, very bohemia, and very cold, but there was So I shared his studio with him for a few. I had an exhibition in there in the downstairs. That's how he set it up. He'd have a gallery downstairs in a garage, and we had a studio upstairs. It was pretty cool. Did some band practice there and everything. It was awesome. Then that came to an end, and Jim actually again got a shop. He bought the building over in the main street of Fermoy town. And the rooms upstairs were used as art studios, and I had one front and center, boom. And the light was very hard Irish light, great for photography, but I didn't fucking like it. I didn't need it. So sometimes I'd have to move the canvas between the two windows closer to the wall, and I was nervous about the floor and the ceiling. They looked dodgy, like they'd fall, and there was a massive structural crack on the side of the building, so I was kind of nervy. And the windows would rattle every time heavy vehicles like trucks and whatnot were going up and down the main street of Fermoy. So it was funny. It was like a comedy. But I loved my time there. We spoke with Jim. There was loads of art history talk. There was loads of like discussing artists that he'd find online today. And yeah, always having debates. So it was cool actually sharing a studio. Which localities in Ireland shaped your looking beyond Cork? Dublin galleries, Limerick, Galway, West, Kerry. Oh, let me see. To be honest, I'd even consider Dublin parochial, you know. Ireland in general as parochial. It's too local. I just wanted to get out of Ireland, and I know you start at home. We had again, Jim was involved with it. It was an art in the park in Fermoy, all along the railinged wall of a Sunday. They'd have, in the summertime, they'd have you hang up your paintings there and try to sell them and talk about them and stuff. It was grand, I suppose, but then the bypass, I think although the traffic is there's still a lot of traffic. It'd probably do well if it started again, but I don't know, there were some issues with insurance, I think. Then there was, what galleries was I in? Jim had that gallery, I forget what he called it, but I saw my stuff in there. Then mainly online, to be honest, and then I had a website at one stage, but I got lazy and I'm not, you know me, I'm not a techno person, so I fucked that up. But yeah, I mean, shaped your looking beyond Cork. I don't know, I think we all just gravitate away from where we're from for a spell, and then we probably return, maybe we don't, but you know what I mean? It's like a natural thing to fly the nest. Number 18, your statement mentions an early encounter with Pollock. Right. Which specific reproduction? Now, the Pollock thing was more to do with I stumbled upon a number of documentaries. There were some very good ones, and then there were some that were just money grabbing fucking lowlifes talking about, I found a Pollock, I'm going to sell it for millions and blah 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 and whatever. But there was actual ones done with the artist when he was alive, and they were very good. And there was one in particular where they got to spend time with him at his place in the country. And here I'm talking about art and his interpretation of the whole, why he does what he does, and it's very interesting. I genuinely liked him, especially because in his early days he was all he'd actually, like most other artists, he'd steal from African tribal art and Native American Indians. Now it was the Native American Indians that hooked me, because I have an affinity with them since I was a child. So that, combined with the fact that he was a lunatic painting these marvelous scaled paintings that just watching them, even on a TV screen, it's something. You can see movement in them, which I love. So that's it. And there's actually a good movie made by, is it Ed Harris, the actor in Hollywood? I think it's simply called Pollock, the movie. It's like a biography movie. It's very good. He's a big fan of Pollock, so it was a passion project for him. So you knew he'd kind of warts and all kind of thing. And Pollock was a fucking loon. He's a lunatic lad. Okay. Number 19. Which other painters function as steady interlock for you? Irish, European, American, what technical habits do? Well, I actually did a lot of palette, or not palette, but fucking, what was the other guy? Pollock style paintings. I've actually got one in the house there I'm giving to Anto, because he loves it, so he's getting it. You'll probably get that horse one behind me. But yeah, so just to figure out, you know, it's like a method actor. You're embodying the physical action of how the painting was done, and then it's like you're watching the documentaries repeatedly and the interviews, and you're trying to find a click, a link, something. I got very good at it, but after a while I thought I liked it, I enjoyed it, but it's something I can incorporate at a later date in another painting, but not to dominate the canvas with it. Just use it as splashing water or something from horses running through a shallow pond on a cobble street or something. It'd come in handy for that. But then there was Norman Rockwell, another American artist. I thought he's brilliant. I love his stuff. But then Monet, Renoir, Van Gogh. There's many European artists that I adored. Their work I adored. There's loads now, I'm sure I'm forgetting. But yeah, I used to just be very in my room looking at the four walls, just trying to create. I wasn't interested in the outside world, but when I would share the studio with Jim, he would push me to explore. And now I'm exploring all the time when I get the time. So there's a whole host of them. Not so many Irish, to be honest. There's a fucking pretentiousness to a lot of the scene in Ireland. I find it's like, oh, you fuck off. It gives me a nauseous feeling. Very cliquey as well. I'm sure it's the same the world over, but look, it is what it is. I'm not interested in the politics of fucking any society or club or whatever. I just want to do what I want to do. Like with the archery, I just want to fucking be good at it and just, you know, excel. Okay. So that is 19. Number 20. In the gold-orange field of Blackbird, which pigment carried the heart? And what did you expect him to do after drying? It's there's lamp black, but there's a lot of Payne's grey in there, and I scraped the crap out of it, and I tried to mix the background colour in with the actual bird as if it's coming through flames. So there's a fierce intensity to the freedom, and I think it was more just getting the wings the way they are and the head poised as it is, and just have that rough and ready and that, you know, energy in it. That was pretty much all I wished to capture. It was no, it was no great big deal. It was fun. It was fast, but it was percolating in my mind for weeks beforehand, before I even stretched the canvas. And it's in oils, and I knew it would dull a little. I was okay with that because I was going to counter that with a varnish, and I've yet to do so. It's fine. It works as it is, you know. A varnish would make it pop nicely. But I was worried because it was going to be for the podcast, and in the room with that big fucking light there, that you probably see a glare off it now. Imagine if there was a varnish on it. It would totally be ruined for YouTube videos and such. So it's like I was mindful of this. That's why I haven't varnished it. So, 22. The surface reads as scraped and layered. Which tools dominate? The palette knife. The palette knife definitely dominated. And then I just used, I think, a 4-inch kind of fat brush to just blend here and there very quickly, you know. Number 23, light in the painting behaves like heat across metal. What kind of studio light held you north when I have no windows? As you know, it's in the studio. That's the only fucking light I have there, and it was irrelevant, to be honest. There was no outside light, natural light required. The idea was firmly in my mind, and I knew what I wanted, and that's what I got. Basically, it was meant to be flames, you know. But I didn't want to have, perfect flames. I wanted the blur, which would add to the movement. Okay, 24. The wing edges look serrated. What bird knowledge sat behind them? Bird knowledge? Buddy, I have no fucking knowledge. I got a slice pan. No, I got 2 slice pans. I got 2 phones, okay? And I fucking threw the sliced bread out the window. And fucking about 100 plus crows came flying around. And I just had video going while I was taking photos as well. And then I just went through it. And did some sketches, which are scattered around the place. And basically picked my favourite one, which was this one. And in a sketch, this looks awesome as well. I had that impact, so that's why I used that one. And that's anatomy. It's no need for any of that. So that's how I got my anatomy. I observed from life. Which single passage took the longest? None of it took long. You can see that it's rough and ready, man. It's really quickly. It came together very quickly. What did that time class teach you about Dork's inner argument? There was no argument at all. But I'm experienced at this stage. And when I'm certain about what I'm doing, it's very quick for me. From what distance did you want the image to cohere, and what did you intend to happen to a viewer's neck, breadth, footing as they approach? When it comes to the viewer, I don't give a fuck. Okay, I have a drive and a mission. And when I achieve that and I sign off on it, that's all I need. That's it. It's gone. After that, I don't care. It's none of my business. So the viewers, you have to ask them, I'm afraid, buddy. You described a horse farm encounter with crows and an uncanny weight in the air. Can you locate the place? Country in the field, town, season, instant atmosphere. That was the Grove Stud horse farm. It's 5 minutes from my house. My buddy Tom Henry, he's like the head man there for the owner. And we were over there looking at some 2-year-old race horses. They were going to lunge them, train them. This fucking lighter. And I was going to photograph and film them. And this fucking lighter. And paint them. And they were bringing them down to, they have this circular thing. And it's divided like a pie chart equally. And a horse would fit in between 2 bars, and a mat hangs from the bars was at the top. And they turn around slowly, and the mat then hits the horse in the arse, and it makes the horse walk. So it's like a walker, an automatic walker. It's to exercise them, get them warmed up and warmed down. So he's going around in circles all the time. But I noticed that a crow got crushed by the machine. And the body was there, and it was kind of getting bumped. And I was like, Jesus Christ, Tom, that's not right, man. And now there's a massive oak tree just to the right as I'm standing looking at Tom. And the walker's right here. There's Tom. And behind Tom, there's this massive oak tree, and then a laneway going down to the fields. And it's just, loads of oak trees. Beautiful setting. And the oak trees were full of crows, and the noise was getting louder, and it was like they were protesting or something, or like, what did you do to our buddy? That kind of thing. There was a very heavy, threatening vibe. I mean, there were so many crows. I looked up, dude, and I swear to God, I was like, fuck, we're going to get attacked. I was thinking that Hitchcock movie. It was like that. It was lots of crows. Lots. A murder of crows. And it was intense, and there was electric in the air. Like, it was Tom was oblivious to it, and that blew me. I was like, this is like, I don't know. I might get out of this, but I don't know. So yeah, that wouldn't be the first time. There was another time I was working with a buddy of mine. We were younger, we were broke. And he knew a guy who was working for this chancer I think we were doing concrete footpaths somewhere down the fucking south. And we were down there, and there was, again, hundreds of crows all along these wires. And they're all making a racket. And there's this one crow getting picked at all the time by random crows from the murder of crows. And he tried to fly away, and he got hit, and he went down onto this greenway, we'll say, just up from where we were. And we were just watching, like, what the fuck's going on here? And all the crows just came down and circled him, and they all took turns fucking just beaking him to death, and they killed him. All of these crows killed this one crow. It was crazy. It was like judge, jury, and executioner. It was, I don't know, is it because there were crows? It was unnerving. It left an impression. They're not to be, not to be messed with. No animal is, to be fair. We're the docile one, not them. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. They're unique. They're just unique, I was actually walking down from Y one day, and down there's a lovely sweeping pavement going down. We'll say the park is right here. There's the railing, here's the pavement all the way down. And I had this kind of trench coat on, and what a way it swooped. All these crows just kind of came in a gush. There was maybe 6 or 7 of them, 8 even. And it's like they were with me. Do you know what I mean? So I've always had these weird random experiences with the crow or the raven. And it's a blackbird for me. So that's the trick with the podcast name and the painting. That's not a blackbird per se, as we know blackbird to be. But yeah, they're the rough, rugged, they're the motorcyclists of the bird world. Okay, what number was that? Okay, 28. What relationship do you carry with animals in daily life? Well, I see horses everywhere, the crows everywhere, and there's a whole host of little birds in and around the place. Cats, our cat, our dog, the neighbour's dog, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I love animals. I do. I really do. I love the way they're so honest. Good, bad, or indifferent. There's no fucking nonsense with them. They're good or they're bad. You see it. Which strands of Irish folk belief or religious practice hover around omen birds in your mind? Blackbird, crow, rook. They're like messengers. They're like mainly they're watchers. They watch everything, and if they're watching everything, who are they watching for? Do you ever think of that? Who are they reporting to? So they're definitely watchers. You see, there is in Israel. I don't know, is it AI, but there's thousands in Tel Aviv. There's thousands of them there at the moment, and it's foreboding. The Gaelic language, local idiom, or parish speech patterns influence the cadence of your thinking. God da. No. Have you heard the fucking people? They're worse than hobbits. I don't think so. Not at all. What role? I mean, when it comes to... It's just the way you live. The physical exertions, the way you breathe, your smoking habits, your drinking habits. They all contribute to your mood. I mean, my moods wear me like a glove, so I don't think about it, to be honest. It is what it is. I honestly don't think about these things. Maybe I should. Okay, no, that was that one. Bear with me now, buddy. No. Shit. What? That was like, I should be at 30 now or something, no? Yes. Okay. So yeah, it's not, no. Jesus, no. Not influenced by any of them. What role did Irish history play in your imagination as you matured? I loved the mythology, and I was interested in the guy who wrote Ulysses and Michael Collins, all those kind of things. But I'd hear names in a story, and then I'd go and blow it out of all proportions and create my own story of them. Um, Fantastical, kind of. But now I'm afraid when it comes to Irish history, I suppose there's that fucking defiance there, against the history of the Catholic Church and the British Empire, and then the corrupt plants that we have in the country, like the politicians, the government members. They're all, those three things. I would be very much. I find them abrasive. I find them as enemies, and I find myself becoming more and more, removed from the conversation, because I only see one way of anything, and I fear we're too late. So I hate them. Hate is a terrible word to use, but I dislike them immensely. Okay, I would give them credit for nothing. So we're basically feral in my house, and when we were growing up, we were feral. Our father would have been very opinionated on pretty much everything. So maybe some of that is rubbed off, I don't know. When you hear Irish identity spoke, this is 33, spoken aloud, what arrives first in you? I think humour, first and foremost, and then language, perhaps. Does it stir my imagery? I can't say. I can't say. I know we're witty, naturally. Every Irish person seems to have a wit about them. Maybe there's some of that. Or maybe people think I'm not so witty. I don't know. Which philosophers, poets, or theologians have travelled closest to your studio? Plato. I don't think any. I've forgotten all the guys I used to read. I found them all to be boring. Especially if I hear people praising them, I'm like, what are you praising them for? And I'd read it and I goes, I understand what they're saying, but I think it's disproportionate. The fame or the import that you give to them. It's no. So 35. How do you understand freedom in painting? Freedom as impulse, freedom as discipline, freedom as impulse. That's basically me. It's like it's preordained, it's pre-designed. It's like I wrote it somewhere else how it's going to go. And the waking me here and now, I'm playing catch up. It's like I've introduced myself to myself as I go along. Okay. What? 36. What place does guilt, complicity, or social occupy in your life as a man? Guilt? No place for that. Complicity? No, I don't think so. Maybe by not being a fucking lunatic and burning things down to the ground. Maybe I'm complicit there. But you have to zoom out. You've one life. And you have to look at all of the bullshit, all the distractions, and say, what works? What works is you need to have the game you're in whether you like it or not, is the game of money. So you got to say, okay, how can I make money that allows me sleep comfortably at night? I think I do a noble effort by using my hands to do the stonework, and I hope, there are times where I'd sell paintings and I'd get good money for them, and I think that's noble. And I like to think maybe in time again with other creations, maybe with the Blackbird podcast, I might find a way of making money, in years to come. Maybe a nice retirement. Who knows? But that's the thing. And you got you know yourself. You have responsibilities. You've got your woman, your kids. Everything costs everything, and that's the game. So I hate money. I've no respect for it, but I respect what it can do for us, and more so now than ever. So it's like I'm driving to Kinsale these days. I get up at 5 a.m. I leave the house at around 6 a.m. I get back in the house around 20 to 7 in the evening. I'm driving for an hour and a half there and back, and then stonework when I'm there. And yeah, this week was the first week it was difficult. But it's okay now, because you have questions when you do the first week. And all of them have been ticked, and they're all satisfactory. So I expect next week, and then the week after, and so on and so forth, to gradually get just more efficient. And I'll be able to do it, because this week I just fall asleep. When I sit down with the kids, I'll eventually just fall asleep. Because you'd be bait, like. So during the painting, this is 37. There are no accidents, my friend. No accidents. That's all I can tell you. 38. Where on the surface does hesitation live? The whole painting is hesitation, my friend. The whole thing. Everything we do, there's hesitation. Until there's not. And when there's no hesitation, there's loads of mistakes. If a conservator examined the work in raking light, what would you want noted? I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I'm no good to hear. I don't care. Like I said, once I'm finished, once I've signed off, its destiny is its own, and it's none of my business. I've no care in the world. If someone buys it, great. But I've no care in the world. What does your studio economy look like in plain terms? Where do you source oils? I source oils just by the tube online. I try to get them in bulk. Get the large tubes because I put it on thick. It's expensive, and I buy a roll of canvas, primed cotton canvas. It's usually 2+ meters by 10+ meters, and that way then I can cut it to whatever scale I want. I'll go to the co-op store, I'll get some 2x1 timbers, and I'll ring the brother David, because he has all the carpentry tools, like the power tools and stuff. He can make it quickly, and I'll just say, make me this so I can stretch this on that and staple it on, and off to the races. It's way better, it's way more efficient, and cost-wise it's better. I see some of the pokey canvases, the money they want for them, I'm like, no, I don't see the quality. Okay, 41. How do you live socially as an artist in Cork? I have no fucking life, buddy. I have withdrawn myself from the whole creative circle of people, and the ones I would talk to have left the country, or else they've left the planet. You just go into your own. I suspect I feel there's a body of work being readied that will require me to be as I am, and soon I hope it'll kick off, and I'll just do them. But yeah, I mean, artists, I find a lot of the so-called artists that I've met in the past are fake. They're fake fuckers, okay? They just don't want to do anything else. They don't even have a plan B, the fuckers. They're just, I don't know, they're just annoying. Some of them amusing at best, but fuck it. When I'm serious, I'm super serious, I try to be laid back, but I find as I'm getting older, I'm more like, even with myself, I'm very hard on myself. Even with things like the podcast, it's like my new addiction. I love doing the podcast. I love it. And I find that there's parallels between archery, painting, and doing the podcast. Or maybe it's my approach is the constant in those three. And even in the stonework, So, yeah, that's all I can tell you about that. I have no social life per se, only maybe the art or the archery shoots. I text with friends on the phone now and again out of the blue. I seldom go out. with young kids, you know yourself. We've no babysitter. We've got the autistic child, and he's difficult. But it is what it is. You get used to it, It's fine. It's fine. We'll go off to Prague now in August. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Lucy's got an apartment over there in Prague 4. So it's kind of handy, Just chill the fuck out. So that's that. Which exhibitions, online platforms, or collectors formed the turning point of your career, and which responses altered your sense of what the public truly sees? Again, I have no answers really for you. Sorry. I was there. There was a spell there where I was selling regularly, and I was working as a full-time artist regularly before the kids came along. And even then, it was hard work because. And now with all the social media stuff, I'd be like, fuck off. I'll do the thing when I get the time and the mind these days. But I've gone through the ringer on it, and I've realized, fuck the world, okay? You can't allow outside influence. It's all inside. You got to go inside and bring it here. That's all that matters. Nothing else. 43. When viewers speak about Blackbird, which reactions arrive most often? Unease, I don't listen. I don't allow or tolerate flattery or critique because no one knows. It's foreign. It's too foreign to me and to them. But they can only give you their perspective, I know. But I'm not interested. I really am not. I'm too busy. I'm on to the next thing already. Where has Blackbird travelled? That's where it went from there, okay, right there to there. As soon as it was nearly dry, that's where it went. And that's where it stayed since. If you had to state a single wager the painting makes about human nature, predations, vigilance, grief, freedom, omen, mercy, what sentence would you offer that would fit? We're vultures of freedom and hope. And deluded at that. So, deluded vultures of freedom and hope.